We're here. We did it, dude.
Boom. Music. I mean, that was like walking out to the ring music, just
The
jamming.
walkout music. Oh
Gotta
my
have
God.
theme music.
Brian, good to hang out with you, dude. Thank you for setting this conversation up today. For those of you that are jumping on and checking us without live, some of you on the East Coast you're shutting down your day.
Yep.
And some of us on the West Coast are realizing that we should be shutting down our day immediately because we're exhausted.
They're already tired. 3 o'clock, reset, recharge.
So Brian, why did you want to jump on today? What did you want to talk about? What's going on in your mind?
Yeah, man. So here's what I think is cool is like all these lives that I'm starting to see. It's a good insight into what's happening with my friends. And we've been pulled away for over a month now. And while I love people's videos and the produced content, and I can hear podcasts and all, there's that part of us, I think, just human nature. You want to connect, and you missed your people. And while you can do your, video calls and you can connect up, the one-on-one piece, I think is vital right now. And so I was like, why not? We were already scheduled to do a podcast and talk. Why don't we just flip the script and adapt and go live and just share more of what's happening in your life with your family, what's happening here versus talking mortgages. We've done that a lot lately. A lot of mortgage.
So many mortgage talks.
Oh, we don't want that.
Hey, what's up, Nicholas on LinkedIn? Joe Hancock, digital mortgage guy. What's up, dude? I hate how I can't see LinkedIn comments in this tool we use, but I got LinkedIn up on my phone. Brian, you might want to do the same. Just mute it. There's Neil. Dude, this guy, Neil Dingra, if you're not checking out what he's doing, Brian, on Instagram, it's Neil Home, Neel Home. Okay. This guy's incredible. I am so envious of I have content envy. Is that like a thing? Content envy?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I have that with people. I'm like, how do they produce this level of video? And why does their mic sound good? All these things I didn't worry about before when you're like, yeah, we're just kind of fitting this in when we could.
For sure.
Now, it's like new way life. So what makes Neil cool? What's his deal?
Dude, his content and how he performs on Instagram, I'm super jealous. I'm gonna copy the crap out of him for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna stalk his profile later and make sure I engage. That's usually how we learn tips and tricks, right?
Speaking of another person to follow is Sean Yahara. I put him on the comment right there, dude. This guy is changing the game too. So Brian, you this time right now we were supposed to be doing a podcast together on your podcast, and so you flipped it on me and you're like, let's just go live right now. So what do you want to talk about, dude?
Let's talk about what I think a lot of people are going through right now is real life. So I know we talk, we see each other's families and what we're doing. I'm curious, as a guy that's running multi-billion-dollar team, you own a CrossFit box, and you are a dad and a husband and brother, all these things. Like, what has changed for you in these 5 weeks? I think we've come out of the first month of haze, and just curious, like, what's life like for Alec trying to balance all of those hats that you wear, right? And people are depending on you.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Everything's changed. Like everything's changed. My wife's, I have an 8 and a 6-year-old, for you, as you don't know. And, she's now a homeschool teacher for a second grader and a kindergartner, which is crazy because, kindergartners they have a really good attention span.
Yeah. Great ones.
And it's transformed our living room because now we have to figure out where they learn and transformed our physical environment. I'm really lucky because I have a detached garage that has become my like haven and my office. And that's like a huge, huge luxury. And I see some people, trying to figure that out, but it's changed our family dynamic, how we communicate, how we operate, I realize that all I do now at home, I do 2 things. I'm constantly taking the trash out. I don't know how, but like every 30 seconds, she's like, trash is full. I'm like, it's not possible that the trash is full again. And literally all my wife does is do dishes. And she's like, we're eating on paper tonight because I'm over it. I'm like, that's how the trash gets filled. You're doing
solution. It's dishes, trash. And I know you got a cool setup there. I saw you guys working out from home, which is, probably one of those that not everybody has it, but I know you guys set up your deal there.
Well, Brian, that's where my CrossFit Costa Mesa, who's about a 13-year-old gym, started in that garage. So you gotta realize how weird it is for me to go back to my old pull-up bar that I installed, with pipes from Home Depot. You
And
know,
it's still working.
Oh, it's still. I went back. I rehung up my rings from the ceiling. Like, it is so weird, dude. I'm running down the same alley where I marked off the 400-meter mark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm back. In like, it's just weird, dude.
It's the weirdest. So what's the best part about being quarantined, new world for Alec? What's the best part? And then we'll move into what, obviously there's not always everything's roses and sunshine.
No, dude, it's just so stupid hard. It's funny. Like, I had a conversation the other day where, with my community group at church, and it was like, it's so weird holding two extremes in our emotional state at once.
Yeah.
In one extreme, man, we are so lucky to be in the mortgage industry right now. We are helping so many people. We are doing incredible things. We have really consistent employment.
Yeah.
Like, and there's huge like thankfulness there. We own a home. Like, I've never been more thankful for my home and every corner of it. Like, I put a zip line up on this little tiny like side of the house between two trees. And like, we've never used the side of our house ever.
Yeah.
It has gravel down.
Yeah.
And it's like a walkway. And now there's a zip line there, and the kids are just bombing it all afternoon. And so on the other side, though, like, I'm pissed. I'm angry about the environment I find myself in. I'm angry that I can't go hug my friends. I'm angry that I can't go on date nights. I'm disappointed and saddened by some of the moves of the government and things that are affecting our industry. So, man, talk about having to hold two emotional extremes. It's brutal.
I like the way you phrase that too, because I think probably a lot of us, I've been going through that. There's points in my days and certain days I wake up and I'm like, I'm jazzed, I'm positive. I'm a pretty upbeat, positive guy. But there's days that you find yourself during that day, you're like, I don't like this part of what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not happy right now.
Yeah. And there's things out of your control and you're trying to influence and control your behavior and, impact others, and people come to you, like friends, I'm sure with you, they've gotten sick. They've lost jobs. We got people around us. Like you said, they're not in as maybe a good a spot as our industry is booming. And then you have this context. You got your friends that maybe it's not booming there. They have businesses like your gym, right? Like the box.
Yeah, the gym. Yeah, it's weird to own a gym and not have people come to it.
Isn't it? We had one of those today we did a workout at the house, and the owner of the box there came over. And you forget, like, I mean, that's his world. And he came over. He's like, look, I don't have equipment at home. We leased out, rented out, gave out. Like, we gave our equipment to the members to help them. So he really doesn't have anything. Newborn baby. And then he's got another, young 3-year-old. And you're like, man, just trying to serve and be there for people. So I know you're trying to do a lot of that stuff. It's like, be a good friend in this world. You're balancing. And I like the way you frame that as like, so how do you balance that? Because it's an emotional roller coaster some days.
Yeah.
And you're leading. I mean, you've got so many people on your team. What, 400?
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah.
I mean, you got all these people counting on you. You're a business leader and you're a dad. And you're in the house now. You're not in your office where you can segment life.
I know.
Right? Like,
I know. It's one of those things where I think we're all just driving through it blind a little bit. None of us have had to do this before. And so I think that having grace and having a little bit of a pause every minute to be like, it's okay that I don't know how I'm handling this. It's okay to give yourself a little grace. Go, did I handle that part well or did I not?
Yeah.
And that to me has helped me balance through this, but I'm definitely not doing it perfect. To your point, man, there's some days I'm like, I'm crushing this game. And there's some days where I'm like, I did not handle that day very well. And, probably started drinking a little early at like 11 a.m. So it's like, you got to figure out how to balance it all. And I'm not, I don't have any secret answer, except I do have one thing that I found to be really helpful. There is for self-motivated people who just, because there's a lot of us out there in mortgage, a lot of sales, like I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. I'm going full down on the pedal every day.
Yeah, let's go. And
now, oh, my boy, Ryan Papero, speaking of somebody else who goes hard, that guy, I don't know how you're surviving, Ryan, because there's no restaurants open. So this guy, all his Instagram is him eating food out at glorious restaurants.
Hopefully
I don't know how he's surviving. But so it's when I'm driving so hard all the time, I read an article that really helped me because it said, hey, pause. When you work from home, and you're naturally a highly productive person, you're going to be more productive than you think. You're going to get exhausted.
Yep.
And you need to pump the brakes. You're probably going to complete what you normally did in like an 8 to 5.
Yeah.
By like 2.
Yeah.
Because like, there's no commute. You're eating at your desk or whatever it is. And it's one of those things where I had to realize that. And then I had to be like, hey, it's okay to actually be done at 3:00 today, which is really hard for me emotionally. Like, I'm like, this day's not done. What else can I do?
Yeah. Let's fit more in.
Yeah. And now I have to be like, no, it's okay, dude. Like, turn it off, put the phone in a drawer, go wrestle with the kids, go throw them on the zip line.
Yeah.
And then, you come back and get your, check your email again so you don't have a heart attack and, make sure everything's okay. But like, it's been hard. But that really freed me to be like, hey, that's okay, dude. I can take a break.
Well, I think that's where mentally, for a lot of us, I'm getting to that similar point we were talking about. It could be 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have done so much during that time. And I'm always I monitor my calendar, right? That the calendar doesn't lie. My phone, it doesn't lie. The phone calls, the text messages, how we engage with people now, that's a relationship connecting. And you look back at how many conversations you're having, to your point, between like an 8 and 2 and 8 and 3, and you're so productive.
Yeah.
And you're measuring this success. And I'm looking at, everything that we've shifted to, it almost is giving yourself a little permission to say, hey, you know what? We accomplished that. Let's go take a break. And I've really found some power in that, is like, slow down. Maybe it's a walk outside. Maybe to your point, maybe it's an early drink in the day. Slows you down a little bit, and you say, I'm going to clear my head so that when I come back, I'm operating at full octane, full efficiency. Because I do think there is, and I'd love for your take on this, is like, I feel like, especially in our industry and across some of my friends that are not in our industry, there's a little bit of exhaustion setting in 5 weeks into this. We're like, we don't know how long it's going to last. We thought it was a few weeks. We just found out yesterday our kids are out for sure for the rest of the school year.
Oh, welcome to the club, dude.
Yeah, and we're like, we were waiting. We were holding out hope.
Don't hope.
No hope.
Yeah, and by the way, I love that my dad gets on here and starts trolling me about scheduling late afternoon conference calls. So I feel thanks. I'm working right now. This is me working.
This is working. We actually, hey, Dan, we just cleared about 30 of our customers I know in our region that are going to close this month. So we're working.
By the way, Brian Garrett on our team, he had a great comment on LinkedIn, and I can't share it, but I want to read it. He goes, look, you're exactly right. There are no natural breaks or distractions like we get in the workplace. I added that to get away from our desk until the kiddos come crashing into your office, which is true too. But that's right. The no natural breaks thing is a way different thing to learn. And I mean, by the way, you know what I've been doing? I've been taking mini drives. I get in my car and I do a mini drive, because that's when I used to listen to all my podcasts. That's when I used to listen to all my audiobooks.
That's right.
Now I'm trying to do it in the shower, and my wife's like, what are you doing? Like, I'm trying to get ready. And I'm like, I need my me time.
Yeah.
So I just get in the car and I'll just zip around, and I'll do some phone calls if they come in, but I'll just put my audiobook on and just drive down to the beach and back. And, it's 20 minutes, but it's really refreshing. Yeah.
I did that the other day. Took my car to get it washed. I felt like, okay, I've got no miles. I probably have the same tank of gas that I had from February.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to drive over there and get my car washed. Feel like if it's clean, I can contribute to a small business and get out. And to your point, I listened to a podcast the whole way. I just thought this was cool.
I love how Jason is. I feel you, dude. I feel you so hard. Right? Like, it's all I got, dude. It's my life.
So this is funny. So I'm curious how you guys are handling this, right? So we were together and we were doing the axe throwing. So you've met Nicole, my wife, and she's funny. She goes, sometimes I just need alone time. Like, no offense to you, no offense to our kids. I love you all, but I'm a homeschool teacher now. I'm getting food ready. I'm doing dishes. Like you said, laundry. I'm covering here. I'm covering there. The kids don't go anywhere, right? They're here all the time.
They just attack you.
Yeah. And they want your attention all day. And our spread from 4 to Presley will be 13 next week. So we're planning a birthday party in the middle of all this. And I'm like, man, she got the tough end of the deal, because we get to go to work and we're hyper productive and we're doing all these things and we're figuring. And she told me a minute ago, she goes, hey, I'm going out a little bit. I just need some me time. Okay. I think that's, if you're a spouse, hear this message, is make sure you allow your spouse to have their me time. Because through this, I think we took for granted through that you would have time when kids went to school. We went to the office. There was a little bit of downtime somewhere in there.
Yeah.
That's not happening unless you're intentional today, right? Like, didn't happen by accident.
Yeah. I think the other amazing thing that's coming through this is I think we're all realizing what we need and don't need in this world.
True.
And I think the consumerism is being challenged it's almost like being, the blinders are being taken off, and we're realizing, did I really need all that stuff and all it's fascinating. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're all going through a lot right now together. I think it's a highly emotional time for humans.
Yeah.
But I think it's a highly powerful time too of understanding where we're at and maybe not going back the way we were. In my little group, this gal named Jen said, maybe now's the time to figure out what we don't want to bring forward. What we don't want post-COVID and to leave it behind, because it's almost like we're going through a death. Easter just happened, and it was a very amazing kind of experience for me, because I feel like we're kind of in a death.
Yeah.
As a culture, and we're being reborn through it, and that's going to be wild. It is wild. That's just fascinating.
And what a cool way to frame that up too. It's like, what do you not want to take with you? And I've been talking a lot about this and sharing with our leaders is, who do you want to be on the other side of this? You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not guaranteed 6 months, but what are you doing today that the Alec or Brian tomorrow would say, hey, man, great job yesterday. You went all in the areas of priority. And to your point of like the things that we didn't have to do. I didn't have to drive anywhere. I didn't have to get dressed up to go here, but did I take that time and reallocate it to my family, to my health, to relationships and people? Did I learn and grow? What are the things? And I'm finding we launched the new podcast, and I'm like, why not now? Like, step out, try something. You're writing a book, you sent me that. Like, man, why not? If there's a dream or something on your heart that you've been wanting to do, what better time to go all in on that and get it going? And I thought that was cool when you were sending me the thing about the book. And I know you had launched your podcast, the 100 videos in 100 days, and like inspiring people. But now you put yourself in this new world that exists. And I'm finding people are trying to almost find their way and navigate through. And I think this is going to be a platform of going live and, man, just what's happening in your life. Because today could be a day that somebody's listening. They're like, man, I had a crappy day. But you know what? I took a couple things away from that conversation there with Brian and Alec, and I need to program in rest, right? Give myself credit for being productive and crushing it, and not feel like the old adage, you wore a badge if you worked 8 to 8. Right? Like that in our industry, remember, it's like, you don't leave the office early. You're the first one in and the last one out. Maybe
I'll give you an analogy that I always lean on. And, so my sister, who's, a Chairman's Elite originator, unbelievable person, got the Chairman's Elite in 3 different markets every year because her husband was moving for his job. So she went to 3 different markets across the country and still was in the top 1% originators in the country. And one thing that's so powerful about her, and I've learned from her, is, she's a really proactive recovering alcoholic. She was an alcoholic since she was 14. And she's been, is maybe 15 years sober. It could be more than that, but it's right around that mark. And, she's deeply involved in AA. She sponsors people. She's an incredible human. And in her journey of recovery, she taught me so much. She pulled me into one meeting, and she just said, look, the whole point of these meetings is just to get through today.
Yeah.
It's just in the throes of alcoholic addiction, just today. Yeah. Just don't drink today. And tomorrow, we'll tackle tomorrow when tomorrow's here.
Yes.
And sometimes in this world, it's okay just to get through the day. Like, you don't have to have a master plan. Like, one thing that kind of gets me a little irked is when I see these, like, if you don't come out of COVID with like mastering 3 new hobbies, and I'm like, listen, you son of a bitch. If I get out of COVID alive and healthy with a great family, I'm winning, dude. Like,
100%
winning. So I think there's like these funny expectations, like the super productive people, and I'm who are like, you got to crush it. And I'm like, well, how about we give space? Mm-hmm. Like, maybe I'll crush it tomorrow, but today I'm going to get through, do my best to not yell at my kids, do my best to take the trash out without complaining, do my best to serve my employees, and I'll get back to that too. Brian, you made a really cool comment. One of the things I'm trying really hard to do right now is over communicate with the people that I work with.
Yeah.
To let them know that I'm thinking about them, that I'm here for them, and I'm doing that through a variety of means. But I think communication right now. Oh, Ashley's giving me some love. Yeah. Just like just getting through the day is okay. Like we don't always have to be like these master motivators of like life and life-changing stuff. And but yeah, like communication right now has never been more important. And it's just crazy because if you're sitting at home, you're not going to see your coworkers who you used to see every day.
Yeah.
So how are you going to carve time to make that human connection? And that's something I'm trying to figure out and lean into, but it's hard.
It's really hard because we both feed off of energy and body language. When I can see people, it's this whole new world of I see you on a video, I'm with you. I'm not all the way with you in the room where there's that transference of energy that I often found was like the emotional intelligence. It's like,
yeah,
I love reading a room and like seeing how people are doing and what they don't say. Well, we don't do that anymore. You're trying to read it on video, which is, we unpack that with Rene Rodriguez. And
dude, I love that conversation.
Man,
that was a really great conversation.
Well, he talked about, this is the part, and I'd love to hear what you took away, because I was listening back to it today. We were pulling out some clips and things, and he was talking about this new world of how we watch people, and you got people on there and they're like, yes, I'm really excited about this call. Like, you're not engaged. And it's a new world. And we don't have the training or skills, some of us, to realize, like, just be you, be on the camera, like, have fun with it. And we don't care what you're wearing. We don't care what your background is. We just want to connect with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you checked that one out. What, any takeaways from the one with Rene?
I just love Rene's style right now. And I love what he's leaning into. His whole thing on what type of leader are you being today was really cool. Hey, Chi, thank you, dude. This is cool. Awesome. Kind of this is what Brian wanted to talk about today, which on his podcast, which now is we're going live on it because I think that we get caught up in business talk, but what Rene is talking about is what kind of leader do you want to be, and the different ways he describes, the alarmist and the naysayer. It was so good. So I just think his mindset is helpful right now and healthy for our industry. And if you guys haven't listened to the conversation Brian and Rene had, it's on your channels. At one of your podcasts, and it's just really well listening to.
I went back and listened to it a couple of times today, and that's what you want to create, right? As you're trying to make an impact in the world, you listen back to it, and I caught things on the third and fourth listen that I'm like, man, I didn't catch him say that the first time because I was listening to him. And you get a chance to step back from it and go, wow, what he shared right there, I needed to hear today. And yeah, there's going to be leaders like that I think step out and do that, and I'm seeing you do that as well, like shifting to live. And even this adaptation today of like, hey man, I think this is what we need to do. And you're like, yeah, cool. Let's roll with that. And just be willing to try some things and have fun with this because we don't have it all figured out. We're taking it day by day and
watching a lot more TikToks than ever before.
Oh my goodness. So speaking of that, not only is my daughter into TikTok, Nicole's gotten into TikTok. And so there's these challenges, and thank goodness they don't have me doing too many of the dance challenges or some of these, but I mean, I've been exposed to a whole new world of TikTok. I'm like, yeah, I'll do a handstand challenge. I'll do a plank or whatever that thing was that we did. And what's cool about that though is, you think about as you connect your story and you connect with other people, you do things that they like to do. And I'm finding, you know what, Brian, you don't have to be cool in this one. You don't have to try to be dad or this person or that person. Like, just go have fun with your kids. If they want to do a crazy TikTok video, go be silly. Yep. If they want to film it, whatever, have fun. Like, and I think that has, to your point earlier, this is where like learning from Kristen probably is like breaking down some barriers and some things that we may have held on to when we show up, we dress up for the office, come in, and it was almost like a little bit of, you had to show up one way. Now, I think it's stripping down some walls and you're able to connect with people even more.
Dude, right? I've been so prepared for this. I started wearing t-shirts and jeans maybe a year ago because I used to be the 3-piece suit guy. And I still love a good suit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like they look and feel great, but I just was like, nah, I'm just gonna just be this is what I am. And so, and now that we're locked in our houses, I'm like, good. I've been preparing.
Yeah, we're ready. Think about 3 years ago.
I'm wearing just boxers right now. I don't, you don't have to wear any other pants anymore. It's wonderful.
No, I think it's actually frowned upon. Is what I've heard. It's like,
I'm wearing pants. Somebody's gonna be like, he's not wearing pants. Like, I have pants on. Just relax.
Yeah, they might be. I wonder, my Lululemon shorts and some of the workout shorts and stuff. Like, do people think that's all I own now? Because I tried on a pair of jeans the other day and I thought, man, this feels really weird. We had to do some photos, which this was really cool. If you haven't done this in your neighborhood, this was something fun we did. Is we've got a bunch of photographers and people that volunteered to give money to charity and to COVID-19 in the local community. And so we took pictures of the families on the front porches in the front of their houses. And then they collaged it together of our neighborhood so we could feel like we were a community again. And it was a nice way to raise money, get some cool pictures with your family. And I think we'll look back on that. And those pictures of everybody is going to be a timestamp of seeing us together in that moment and being able to tell the stories of, hey, here's what was happening. When we took this picture 5, 10, 20 years from now, hopefully, we can tell stories of, we took this picture in the middle of some pretty crazy times.
Yeah, dude, no doubt.
Isn't that crazy? So you're doing all these things, I know, trying to balance. And this is a question I've gotten from people lately is, where does Alex see over the next 90 to 100 days? So keep it kind of short time frame that you want to personally grow and kind of lean in to get better, improve, yourself as you're wearing all those hats, right? So I'm always curious, like, where are you leaning in?
I'll answer that a couple different ways. I'm leaning into family in new ways. The amount of love I feel towards my wife, who's carrying, to your point, a way bigger mantle than ever before, is incredible. It's her 40th birthday tomorrow.
Wow. Tomorrow. Oh, we got to celebrate all of us.
In fact, I'm gonna cut out in a few minutes because I've got I got a surprise for her tonight, and then I've got a surprise for her tomorrow that I'll try to document. But I had to cancel a big birthday party that had 90 people coming. We're gonna close down my gym, pipe and drape the whole thing, DJs, lasers, lights, fog machine.
Yes.
And now, it's like we're home.
Yeah. I'm like,
so
that would have been an epic party.
I think I'm trying to lean in to be a better dad and a better husband. That's like a heavy thing on my mind. Just how do I help her in this environment?
Yeah.
I'm definitely realizing that I can be more productive at home than ever before. And I'm excited to kind of leverage that and balance that and use that in the future where maybe I can be home more.
Yeah.
Because I'm very focused on getting to my kids' games, and I used to like run out of the office at like 2:30 to get to the 3 o'clock game. I'm like, now what if I just work from home that day, crush my day out by like 1 or 2, and then I'm ready to go. I don't have to rush to the game. I can actually just take him. So, there's that kind of stuff. And what I'm most excited about, and this is more just, I think, just looking at our industry, I'm excited for the change our salespeople are going through. Like, I'm excited to be part of the conversations and experiences they're having. I've seen more people finally, dive into the swimming pool of social media who are turning cameras on. And that to me is light in this kind of tough time because they're doing it. Like they're doing it. And that to me is incredibly cool.
Dude, I love that, especially the dad part, because I relate to that. And that's part of why I wanted to bring you on, is to talk about that. Is I think that's the unspoken area that for a lot of us as leaders, we're trying to balance all that. And to your point, like for Erica and Nicole, like that's probably the toughest thing for them, our wives at home, balancing all that stuff. But I do think it's also for those of us that are driven business leaders, like we just want to crush it all day, every day. And there's some real emotions happening. And so becoming a better dad, I'm with you on, maybe there's some lessons to be learned as you look at other cultures. And like we traveled through Italy last year, and I remember seeing culturally how that there was just differences, and people would break to go spend time with their friends and their family. And it felt more like family was there. So maybe this is a time that we all reflect and go, maybe I've had my priorities a little bit out of balance here.
Well, taking these micro breaks now, like I'm carving time every single day to read to my kids. I haven't read to my kids since they were like, they're 6 and 8 now, since they were like 2 and 3 and stuff,
Yeah.
And my son can read. He's devouring a book a day right now because he's a maniac. But like, so I'm, right now we're going through The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which it's so fun, and then I started a YouTube channel for my daughter, and because she's turned into the silliest thing I've ever met. So we've got her like YouTube channel going, and there's just micro breaks with my kids that are precious. And I'm not losing any time. Like I'm not losing any productivity. Did I lose?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. And I saw the duck.
Yeah, the duck video, dude. She's lost it. And now she comes out and she goes, "Can I film a video?" And then she'll take my phone. She filmed an exercise video today while I was working. She's just doing an exercise video. And I'm like, this is so, yeah, I mean, it's a whole new world, but I'm thankful for all the good we've got. I'm thankful for this industry. Thankful for guys like you, Brian, who are just helping lead the way. Yeah, dude, it's incredible. So I don't know, dude. You got one more thing for me before I go try to surprise my wife?
No, I want you to go do that because that's what's important. I appreciate you taking time and being willing to just say, hey, you know what? We're going to go on a different adventure today. We're not going to do the standard podcast. Let's go live. And looks like some good people that we were able to make an impact and to share what's happening. So let's do this again. My friend, you're doing some great things. You inspired me too, because that's what sometimes we just need to hear is what somebody else is going through. One thing that I can lean in on and take away and go take action on. So if you heard something you love today, my challenge to you is go take action on it now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Take action now and make sure that you spend time with those that you love and you care about and make a difference. This is a chance for all of us to really impact people in a positive way. So you're doing that, my friend.
No doubt, dude. Yeah. All right, man. Take care. It's good to hang with you.
See you, buddy.